Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, Senior Market Analyst. In this video I'm going to take you through the week ahead. We're going to have a little look at some of the upcoming news and some charts to watch. So lots of high impact data coming out next week, and it kicks off in the UK with the claimant count change, but most importantly I think would be on the Wednesday, which is that GDP data month on month forecast showing that we're going to see a drop from 0.5% to minus 0.2%, and we have seen the price of cable and pound weaken last week. That was largely due to the fact that the Bank of England Governor Bailey thinks that their interest rates in the UK are now at its peak and that we should potentially see a pause in the next meeting, and that has caused the UK or the pound to continue to weaken. Next, we've got the US dollar. We've got some CPI data coming up. Month on month is the one that's looking like we're going to see a little bit of change from 0.2% to 0.6% CPI year on year. Looking to actually increase from 3.2% to 3.6%. So on Wednesday, we might actually get a little bit of data that sees the US dollar strength continue. We've had some real successive gains recently in the US dollar, and it doesn't look like that's going to slow down anytime soon, although we are approaching some key areas of interest from a technical point of view. Other interest rate decisions this week from the ECB, so we're going to see a potential pause here for the ECB. Again, could that potentially fuel a little bit of euro downside? I think the ECB press conference that follows this meeting will be interesting to see if there is a hawkish pause, whether it is in fact a good sort of pause here for Europe. We then get some further data out of the US. We've got core PPI and core retail sales all looking to have some sort of changes here, especially core retail sales month on month expected to drop from 1% to 0.4%, and that could see some interesting developments. So that's the news for this week. Going on to the strength meter, you can see the change in the pound. It's gone from +1 to -4, and we've seen the change of -5 last week. So pound's definitely a currency that looks to be weakening at this current moment in time. The US dollar remains bullish, being at +5, although that did come down from its +7s, but we could expect that dollar strength to potentially continue going into this week. CAD actually strengthened last week as well. We can see it came from -1 to +3, so CAD has also strengthened too. Going on to the US dollar index, then, this is exactly what we mean. Price has been in these extended gains now, and we've just breached the 105 key resistance level, which formed from this high back on the 13th of March 2023. Now that we've breached that level, the next level of resistance price could come into is the 105.75, which were the highs that formed at the beginning of March 2023. I've also put in another level at 107.75, because if we were to breach this level to the upside, we could see some real strength out of the US dollar, with 107.75 being those targets. Going on to euro US dollar, then, that could mean some further downside here. We spoke about this after price stayed below that key level of the 1.0850. We said that price could potentially come back down into the 1.0675, which it's nearly at right now. If we breach that level to the downside, the next level of support comes all the way back into these March lows at 1.0525. Going on to cable, then. We've had some real good discussions about cable in our live streams as well. We recently talked about this breach of this consolidation and potential retest for further downside. We have seen that now. Price has continued to push lower. We are now sub 1.25 on cable, which means that we could see some further downside with potential for price to reach the 1.2350 handle from a longer term point of view. Going on to the dollar yen, then, as our final currency pair. Dollar yen still in this very, very strong upward trend, and it looks like we're still heading higher here. You can see we recently breached a consolidation pattern. Price trading around about the 147.80 at the moment. If we do see any further yen weakness this week in any terms of risk on situations, then dollar yen could start to head towards its channel highs around about that 149 handle. Now that's going to then bring in the conversation from the Bank of Japan about intervention. Are we then going to start to see the potential 149, 150, 151 being those areas areas where the Bank of Japan have intervened in the past. Will they intervene again at those type of levels? At the moment, dollar yen doesn't look like it's slowing down here for any kind of pullbacks, but if we just take a look at the stochastic, you can see down here that we are starting to get a little bit of a divergence here. You can see the stochastics are making lower highs, prices making higher highs, so there could be a point where we do see a little bit of a move, perhaps back down into that 145, but I think 149 could still be targets in the near term. Thanks for watching this video update. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel to see some more Forex trading content, and I'll speak to you in the next video.